Billy's a good fighter, and he is, and he got tremendous skill. Peter Quillen, he's a hard man to beat anyway. But listen, you got to fight for the world title. You got to fight the world champion. If Quillen's the world champion, that's the guy he's aiming for. Whoever, it don't matter who it is. That middleweight division,
that's the route you're taking.
That middleweight division, whichever title you're going for, is hard to win.
Okay, and finally in the news, this one's a bit of a quirky one. Ring that bell for me. Look at those two. Tony Oakey had his nose broken 30 times. Wayne Elcock does a great job in the Midlands taking boxing into troubled schools. Guess what? They're going to fight each other this week. They're not really going to fight each other. It's a box spa on the TKO, Johnny Eames's gym. They put on a thing for the Indy Rose Trust. These two are going to be boxing each other out at the Menzies Prince Regent out in Chigwell. There's about 10 fights on the bill. If you go to the TKO website, you'll be able to find some tickets for it. Tony Oakey against Wayne Elcock. They've been together in the ring. Loads of times they've helped each other. Tony Oakey said he's going to slim down to about 17 stone for the fight. Wayne Elcock's walking around at his middleweight fighting weight. It'll be a lot of fun. The first 2 rounds will be nice, then it will get serious. Now we've got some live boxing coming up in a few hours' time here, about in the morning, well, Tuesday morning we like to call it. So it's Tuesday, live from the Salinas Storm House, 2:30, Manuel Villa against Enrique Quevedo. 10-3s at Super Bantam. These shows, they're fantastic little shows that we've been putting on late at night on a Monday, early on Tuesday. We've got plenty more to come, including we'll have Michael Grant and Billy Morgan on the sofa. We'll hear from Conrad Cummins. We'll hear from Stewie Hall. We'll hear from Arnie Farnell. We'll also hear, I think, from little Paul Butler. All that in about, well, it starts in about 80 seconds or so.
Dizem que você vence uma luta antes de entrar no ringue.
They say the fight is won.
Oh, yes, thank you and welcome back. There's no cheers, there's no screaming, there's no hallelujahs. I'm just getting boos and stuff in the right side. Now, there was a bit of a problem at the Copper Box the other day, a little bit of a problem with the doors opening and some people were kept outside. 2 sets of fans were kept outside. There's no one to blame, just a bit of bureaucracy went wrong. Anyway, someone ducked down and saw that a couple of guys were in the ring and the doors were opened a bit hastily. I think harsh words were exchanged, understandably so. And then the crowd flooded in to catch the first fight of the night. It took place about 10 to 6, and we didn't screen it live on Box Nation, and I apologise for that, but there's only a certain amount of hours you can do. But we have managed to get both of the boxers in from that, and I will show you the last round. So joining Barry Jones on the sofa is, first of all, Billy Morgan. That ain't bad. And down the far end, Michael Grant. Now, fellas, you knew each other. You knew each other from your days at TKO Gym and your days on the circuit. You agreed to this fight over 6 rounds. Okay. It was always going to be a hard fight, a close fight, a tight fight. What we're going to do is we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up at the start of the 6th round. There's no commentary on it because John Rawlin was still in makeup and Barry was still having a massage upstairs in the sort of Swedish. That's the way the boys are. Let's start the fight in the 6th and we just talk our way through it. Because there'll be people, remember, that have not seen it or not seen the result. Let's pick it up. Round 6 here. Okay. So we've got this. The arena's empty. Going into the 6th round, I'm going to start with you, Michael. How do you think you were doing going into the 6th round?
I thought I was ahead. I was just trying to see it off, but I thought I was ahead.
And Bill, how about you going into the 6th round? Did you know you had to make up a bit of space?
I knew it was close going into the last round, but I thought if I can't have a big last round, I'd win it by a round, by a point. So that's why I come out flying in round 6.
And Mike, how often have you sparred, you two? I mean, is it?
How many times we sparred about 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times. I was.
When was the last time you sparred?
About a year ago.
Okay, so. Yeah. But you still see each other in the gym?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So going into this round here, Bill, you thought you wanted to make sure, and Michael, you thought you were there.
I thought I was a good 2 rounds ahead. Still.
Okay. Now the interesting thing is that your fans hadn't got in, and your fans hadn't got in, and you knew your fans weren't there, Mike, because you couldn't hear your mum.
Yeah.
So you started ding ding first round, you couldn't hear your mum, so you knew.
Yeah, no, I'm not always normally she's the main person I can hear. Because everyone's screaming, she's the main person above everyone. But yeah, and then I think it was the third round, they came in, and then I heard loads of people screaming. I heard Billy's fans screaming, and I heard my fans screaming, and it was.
And did you think that, Bill? Like when the first bell starts, you're trying to work out where your fans are. You've done about 200 or 300 tickets, didn't you?
Yeah,
300.
300 tickets. I mean, walking into the arena, I was just following Michael, and there was no atmosphere there. It was empty, and I couldn't see no one or nothing. And I just tried to focus on the fight. I got in the ring, and I blanked that out. And then I would sort of say the 4th or the 5th round, I could start hearing the odd "come on, Bill" here and there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it was it's a hard fight. In all fairness, Bill, it's a step up for you. It was a step up for you, Mike. Now you've been in that sort of company before, but your career has not been as smooth as it maybe should have been over the last 8 or 9 years. I mean, turned pro in 2005. So I'm assuming neither of you had any problem accepting it. You're both professionals.
No, not at all. I didn't. As soon as I found out it was going to be Michael as my opponent, just got down to business. We're both fighters at the end of the day, and as much as we were mates in the gym, we're both fighters, and we're in a fight game, and inside the ring, it's all business.
Yeah. And for you, Mike, did you see it? Billy's, he's young, he's been on TV a bit, is a decent scout for you to pick up. Sort of to relaunch, to get your career going again.
Yeah, definitely.
That fair comment?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Billy's unbeaten. Billy was unbeaten. Yeah. I knew that he's on telly and that, and yeah, my career. I've always said once I hit 30, I've just near enough turned 30, and yeah, I'm looking to progress from now. So that was great. It was a blessing in disguise.
So you see this here, at the end, you're both cuddling and whatnot, and we've actually cut out some of the best stuff there, which is a bit of a pity. That's neither here nor there. Now, at the end of the fight, I'm going to go to you first, Bill. Did you think you'd done enough in that round? Did you think you'd done enough?
I thought, as I said, going into the 6th round, I thought it's close. I need a big round here to get the win, and I went out there for a big round, and I thought, yeah, it's close, but I've got this here. And
Michael, how did you think after that last round?
Yeah, you see, I had my hand, if you didn't show it, but I had my hand up. I was confident that I won it by two rounds.
Barry, because I was watching it in the truck. I was watching it from the 2nd round in the truck. I didn't want to come out. I didn't want to miss any of it. You were there. You were ringside. How did you see it at the end? I'll put you in a terrible position here.
Listen, it was a close fight. Yeah. I did think Michael just nicked it, to be honest. It was that sort of fight, to be honest, and I think it was good. And it was an ambitious fight.
Yeah, it was.
For Billy, but the right fight at this time, because people forget when Michael turned pro. Turned pro was a bit of a hoo-ha. Big things were expected from you.
He won the ABAs the year that Amir pulled out.
And for whatever reason, your career haven't quite caught fire like people expected it to. So, you would expect maybe, when coming off a couple of losses, that maybe your desire has waned. So, even if you've got a good record, you're a good, skillful boxer, it was the right fight for Billy to take. Yeah. Step up, but a guy who's capable of beating. And, you brought something back there, all that movement and the stick counter punching was something that Billy's got to get used to. And I think you tried too hard, to be honest, to load up too much.
I think that's fair comment.
Yeah, and the harder you try, the easier it becomes for you. I think that's the way that's what I saw. I don't know how you felt, but that's the way I saw it.
If people are watching at home, they don't know who won. Michael got the decision. I should let you know that. So Michael got the decision. Billy didn't. Billy's bit angry afterwards. Michael was very happy afterwards. What about? Would you do it again?
It would.
I'm not talking. You ain't boxing, are you?
Listen, I'll fight the winner.
I'm asking you to make a comeback, Bell.
No, but this was the fight that I was looking forward to the most.
Yeah,
on the night.
Same here.
And it lived up to it.
Yeah, it did.
It wasn't a toe-to-toe battle. We didn't expect that. It was skill.
It
was skill and everything into it. It had everything in that fight, and I thought it was a fight that I didn't want to miss. That's why I got it early to watch that, especially. And I think a return is a natural fight.
So do I think a return is a natural fight. So can we shake on a return, boys?
Oh,
come on, let's have a little shake on it.
There we go.
That's it. Get a close up on that shake. Get a close up on that.
We shake hands.
Unlike Groves and Frotts, they shake hands. Now, I do apologise again that we didn't show that fight in its entirety, but we're on from 7 to about midnight or so. We do our absolute best, and every now and again a little gem falls through. So, I'll tell you what, I'm delighted with these two tonight, Bell. As you say, not like Groves and Frotts.
They're professional fighters, they're nice kids. No, they're going to get in there. They probably hate each other. Once the belt, you missed it on the replay there. They're hugging each other, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? No animosity.
Billy, thanks for your time coming in, son. Now you've got 6 stitches; they'll just dissolve and come out quickly. Michael, thank you for coming in. We'll get DVDs to the pair of you. You're watching Steve Bunce with Barry Jones, and we've just had a couple of young fighters on the sofa. How refreshing to see a couple of kids come in so soon after they were swapping and trading punches. We've got plenty more to come. We've got Conrad Cummins to come. We've got Shane McGuigan to come. We've got Stewie Hall to come. We've got Martin Ward to come. That even rhyme. We've got Paul Butler to come. We got Ant Farnell to come. And there's more of me. There's more of him. And it starts in 80 seconds. See you then.
Dizem que você vence uma luta antes de entrar no ringue.
They say the fight is won before you enter the ring.
Na favela você começa a lutar no dia em que você...
In my favela, you start fighting the day you were born.
Essas ruas levaram meu pai.
These streets took my father.
E elas quase me levaram também.
And they wanted to take me too.
Às vezes,
At times,
eu pensava que não ia
I
conseguir.
thought I wouldn't make it,
Mas apesar de tudo,
but I never quit.
força real é sacrificar tudo por sonho que
Real
só você pode
strength
ver.
is sacrificing everything for a dream that only you can see. The real fight is getting there.
Na hora que eu entro no ringue,
So when I enter the ring,
já sei que sou vencedor.
I know I've already won. Luta clothing, born of real strength.
Shaking is easy, fun and faster. Like new Vanish Power Powder Shake and Clean. It covers large areas of carpet fast. The moist powder penetrates the fibres, absorbing dirt. And it dries in just 20 minutes for a clean, fresh-smelling carpet. New Vanish Power Powder Shake and Clean. And for high traffic areas, just dispense, brush and vacuum with new Vanish Easy Clean. Available in store now.
Becky and Lucy are identical in almost every way. Well, there is one difference. Lucy uses E45 lotion every day because it's non-greasy and has all the goodness of E45, which makes her skin feel softer and smoother. Sorry, Becky. Lots of women feel like Lucy, with 88% of over 4,000 prefer...
Yeah, so we're just bashing kids in and bashing kids out. Now, last week I had Carl Frampton in the studio with Shane McGuigan, and they stuck in the cab with them a young kid called Conrad Cummins. Now, he's a young Irish kid, a top fighter. Had he stayed amateur, would he have been going to Rio? Probably. Especially as he had a bit of a leg up, because he joined the Mexican Guerreros, one of the World Series of boxing clubs, and he'd been out there fighting. And in fact, he was the only kid that I think got a win in the double match. I think it was 9-1. He was the only winner over the 2 nights against the Cubans. Anyway, I got Conrad in last week. We blacked it out. We made it moody. Shane was there. It was beautiful. You know, when we do that, honestly, don't mess around. And I started by asking Conrad about the Cubans and what it was like and what they were like and what it was like specifically to win.
We went up in the WSB and on the Giving It Large on the Twitter, as you do.
Yeah. Thank you.
and I said, you know, you're saying the Cubans are smashing them up, and so they are. They're undefeated now. And
I think not only undefeated, I think they're doing 5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
Yeah, so I went out to Mexico for a month and did a few weeks altitude training and adapting, and fought Carlos Bonter. He won a silver in the Beijing Olympics.
Yeah.
He beat Billy Joe Saunders.
That's right, he did, yeah.
Beat him well. So, I fought him and over 5 rounds. I beat him well.
So were you the only winner that night? Was it 4-1 or was it 3-2?
I was only winner. I think I was only winner that night, but the next night we may have won another one or something.
Okay, but still not very many.
No, we lost the match. We lost the gate 2 or something.
Was that with the Guerreros?
Mexican Guerreros, yeah.
But who else did you box with inside the World Series of boxing?
Who else did I box?
Had you always been with the Guerreros?
I was always a Mexican Guerrero.
Always a Mexican Guerrero. I've got to ask this because I've talked about the Guerrero. I've talked about the World Series of Boxing and the APB on Box Nation before. But I don't really know, and no one I can talk to seems to know exactly. How do they contact you? I mean, you know, here you are, you're an amateur boxer in Ireland. The next thing you know, you're being contacted. You're on a plane, you're training at altitude, and boxing a Cuban in Mexico City or something. How did it go about? Give me the route.
I did it all myself. I always wanted. I've always loved professional boxing, and it was sort of going to be my stepping stone, which it was. But so, you know, that.
Through the heartbreak of missing that 2010 Olympic team, there are